Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Manifest. It is once again like 9:30 on Sunday, and I'm like, man, I really should do this in a more timely manner. But don't worry about that. Thankfully, I do have a topic for tonight, and it's super fresh on my memory because I literally just beat it like 20 minutes ago, and that is Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, which I technically don't own, but I did buy it for a friend, and I mean there are accounts on my Switch as well, so I just played it that way. But overall, my thoughts on Echoes of Wisdom is that it is a fantastic addition to the Zelda Legend of Zelda franchise, and I think that them using the style from the remastered, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I guess it is a remaster of Link's Awakening was a really good idea. It just worked very, very well throughout it. Like whether it was for all of the different enemies and echoes, or for Zelda herself, or the various characters and races, it just worked. It was very good. Honestly, I was talking to Chad about it, where I was like, I feel like if they did the original Zelda game in that style, it would probably go over pretty well. Because I don't quote me on this, but I don't think that they've ever actually like redone that or remastered it, aside from like playing it on the Switch, on the Nintendo Switch Online thing, and the pixels being like super crisp and all. But I feel like that would go over well, but also maybe people would find that sacrilegious. I don't know. Gamers are very strange in that regard. Some people are like, yes, embrace new things, and others are like, no, it was perfect the way it was. And I don't know. There's probably a happy medium there somewhere. Um, but yeah, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Um, it features a lot of very indirect gameplay because obviously we're used to playing the Zelda games as Link, where you already generally at the beginning of the game, or very close to the beginning of the game, you have a sword, and that's your thing. You go and you slash things, and then you get the bow, and you get a bunch of other tools, and then that's how you get through the game. Except for like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, where you get powers that let you do things, and also lots of different weapons. But that's besides the point. Um, Obviously, if you watch the trailers and all that, in Echoes of Wisdom, your weapons are just a bunch of echoes of monsters and things that you find. Granted, you do get, and this I didn't know because I didn't watch a lot of the trailers leading up to it because I wanted to be as like fresh to it as possible. You do get a point where you can actually directly attack things with a sword and also a bow and bombs later on, but it's on a timer basically. Or it has like a meter, and that drains pretty quick. And you can upgrade the meter and also the weapons and all that, but it's something that they, I think, implemented. Like it's part of the one of the main like game mechanics, and it makes things a lot easier. But also, it's a finite resource, so you have to kind of learn to balance it alongside using your echoes, which thankfully echoes of monsters, like they use a certain amount of power basically, and until you recall them or they die, you don't get that power back. But as soon as they die, you can just throw out another thing. So that kind of becomes the main mechanic of the game, is just throwing monsters at other monsters until no monsters are left. I mean, there's other ways to do things, but obviously, like, that's one of the easier ways, especially if you get stronger echoes that can mop up everything. You just kind of use them until they die and then bring out another one and have them go for a while. There are a few different ways to do puzzles. Sometimes I will say one of my complaints about the game is some of the puzzles like aren't quite so obvious in exactly what you're supposed to do, or it seems like you're supposed to do one thing and then you do something completely different that seemed too obvious or too stupid, but it happened to work. You do also get a lot of really cute outfits. Some of them have actual like use in the game, and some of them are just there for looks. And that's fun. There's a lot of accessories you get that do different things, like let you swim faster, let you jump higher, which is one that I never took off. As soon as I got it, I was like, being able to jump like a full square is amazing. It's the best. And a bunch of others like damage reduction, longer holding breath, stuff like that. And there's definitely a lot to explore, a lot to find, lots of side quests that give you pieces of hearts or more accessories or more clothes. Just there is a lot to this game. Like I honestly thought it was gonna be about the length of Link's Awakening, which really isn't that long if you think about it. I mean, you can play through Link's Awakening in like less than 10 hours. Like it's not a very long game. It's a fun game. It's got good visuals, good music, all that, but it's definitely not very long compared to other games in the series. But Echoes of Wisdom was definitely pretty lengthy. When my friend played it before me, she took about 50 hours to get through it, 100% everything. I haven't 100%ed. I got all the echoes and pieces of heart and like a couple other things. I didn't get all the upgrade materials you need for the weapons and all, or at least to get my meter up to max. And I was like, I don't feel like doing that because I still had like 30 more. And I was like, nah, getting all the echoes was already kind of a pain because some of the echoes are monsters that you generally wouldn't be able to kill, but you can in the game if you do certain things, and then you can pick up the echo. And all that happens when you get all the echoes is you talk to the person who helps you find them once you beat the game, and they're like, oh, you found them all. Good job. And pat yourself on the back, I guess. Which, I mean, I kind of expected that, but you're also like, I was hoping there was a bit more of a reward. But yeah, overall, Echoes of Wisdom, aside from that, and I will say the Echo organization sucks. Like, it's basically treated like how Tears of the Kingdom treats items, which is, it's not great there either. Because the problem with that is that in Tears of the Kingdom, you get hundreds of items. And generally, you're only maybe using the same like 5 to 10 for most things, like bombs and stuff like that for fusions. But at the same time, if you want to find a specific item that you don't generally use, it can be a huge pain in the ass. And it's the same way with the echoes. Like, you just press a button and it brings them all up, and you scroll left and right, and you can sort them by type, last used, last learned, and all that. But it's not a very good system. It would have been nicer if they were organized by maybe like species, or even if they had a separate button for monsters and just objects. But I don't know if that's something they're going to update into the game. Like, it's kind of annoying, but I mean, I guess by end game, you're probably only using the same like 4 to 5 echoes. So it could be worse, but it also could be way better. So yeah, that's another one of my major complaints about it. But like I said, the world was quite good. The characters were great. Like I really like the King of Hyrule a lot more there than I did in Breath of the Wild. He's kind of a douche to her there, but I know there was a lot of pressure, but still, man, could have chilled out a little bit. Yeah, and the story was good. I mean, it's God, it's so weird doing these because I want to talk like really in depth about the stories, but then I'm like, people might not have played. I mean, I guess at the same time, if people didn't want to be spoiled, they wouldn't watch a video that's talking specifically about the game. So I guess the overall thing is that something is causing these rifts in the world that suck people in and cause them to get kind of loopy and also be in stasis until they get out of said rift, which they can't. And Zelda teams up with a little guy named Tri to fix these rifts and try to find Link because he's very key to being a part of the force to help fight that, because obviously in every game it's Link, Zelda do stuff to fight whatever. So yeah, that's the big thing. And you meet a bunch of people along the way, make friends, help a bunch of people with side quests, get some cute outfits, learn some new echoes, get other powers, get a sword that lets you turn into Link for a bit and slash things and shoot things and jump higher. And it's very good all around. Like, and there's plenty of different enemies and all that, and environments. And like I said, I liked all the characters that you met along the way. Some of them took a little bit longer to warm up to than others. just because they started out a little abrasive or a little weird, but sometimes people just take getting used to, or they grow. There's a lot of character growth of various people. Um, yeah, Echoes of Wisdom was it overall lots of fun. Some minor complaints about some of the puzzles and the organization of Echoes and all that, but it's definitely a large world to explore. Lots of collectible things to be found. Um, the boss fights were interesting, like using a mix of the echoes and your swordman powers, and all that. And yeah, like the final fight was crazy. There was just a lot of stages to it, but it was definitely like worth it to go through it and all that. And I did tear up a bit at the end. Very good. I will agree. Try is probably one of the better or best little companions, but I mean, most people, I don't know. I think argue whether Navi or Fee is worse. I would argue Fee is worse because Fee interrupts your progress so much. Navi does as well, but usually she actually has very important information for the area. And she'll be like, "Hey, listen," and you don't have to listen. Whereas Fee will interject at every possible junction. And then Midna, I don't know. Midna was great. I liked Midna. Anna didn't like Midna as much. Well, Anna likes Midna, but she's kind of mean to Link. And I'm like, well, she was mean to everybody. And she was under a lot of pressure. She was turned into an imp. But anyway, yeah. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, very good. I definitely say to give it a try. If give it a try. Sorry, because character try. Anyway. Good stuff. I'm glad I went through it and I got to experience it for sure. Like if you're on the fence about it, I'd say go ahead. Like there's a lot to that game, and I'm sure there's a lot to enjoy. Like it's going to be a bit different from your traditional like 2D-esque Zelda games, but in a good way, not a bad way. It's refreshing. Aside from the minor issues I had with it. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for being here and hanging out. That's my Monday Manifest on Echoes of Wisdom. And yeah, I'll just have to figure out what we're going to talk about next week. So until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you then.